Okay, Thunderbird. So you just spent some time comparing portraits from three different periods of art history. So what did you come up with? What were the similarities? What were the differences? I'm hoping you took some time to think about that. So now I'm going to give you some knowledge about those three, and you can kind of take some information from that and use that to improve your own artwork. So here's what I know. The first painting is by Leonardo da Vinci, and he painted it in the 1400s. That's over 600 years ago. And you might notice that that's a very, very detailed piece of art. The background, the lady, everything is very realistic. And that was the expectation at that time, that he painted that in a time of art history called the Renaissance. It's considered probably the greatest period of art history that there is because everybody did just amazingly realistic artwork. Now, if you look at the next one was done by Mary Cassatt in the 1800s, so 400 years later. What's different? It's less detailed, right? It's still good. It still looks like a lovely painting of a lady, but the details are more blobby and less crisp and fine. The reason for that is because of the invention of the camera. That was a huge change in art history because in the early to mid 1800s, the camera was invented. And once the camera was invented, people no longer had to go to artists to get a picture, lifelike picture of their loved ones because they could take a picture. So once the camera was invented, all of a sudden art started getting a little less detailed and a little bit more artsy. Artists could start showing more emotion in their artwork by the way they put the paint on the canvas. And this really changed everything. And you can tell that when we go forward another 100 years and we see that last portrait, which was by Pablo Picasso, and he's kind of the father of Cubism, which is a very abstract artwork. And so if you compare the Cubism art from Picasso to Da Vinci's artwork, they're very, very different. But they're also kind of the same in that it's a portrait. We've got a lady from about the shoulders up, and she's got her eyes, her nose, her hair, everything like that. It's still a likeness. It's just not as exact a likeness as what was expected back in Da Vinci's day. So I want you to think about all these things. Think about the way you make art and the way you enjoy making art. Maybe you like to do all the little details, make it as realistic as possible. And that's awesome. But maybe you don't care as much about the details. Maybe you care more about the feeling of your artwork or a creative idea behind your artwork. In that case, you're more like Pablo Picasso than Da Vinci, and that's fine. They're both amazing artists. They're just very different. So your job this week is to create a portrait of, it can either be a self-portrait of yourself or it can be a picture of somebody you know well, like a parent or a sibling or a grandparent or a friend or anybody who you know very well. So as you need to have their image in your mind or look at a picture of them. So I want you to draw a portrait that's from shoulders and up. And I just want you to do the best job you can, but the style is completely up to you. If you want to make it cartoony, make it cartoony. If you want to make it as realistic as possible, like Da Vinci, then do that. If you want to do something really abstract, where the eyes are in interesting places and the hair is in interesting places and their body is in interesting poses, like Picasso, then do that. I'm leaving that up to you. I just want you to explore the different ways that you can make a portrait and just choose one and have fun making it. That's the big thing, is just have fun making it. And if it doesn't go the way you want it, just start over and try again, or erase the part you don't like and redraw it. This isn't something to be stressed out about. This is something to have fun with. And when you're done, if you're a Clear Connection student, I want you to take a picture of it and upload it. There's a link right below this video where you can do that so I can see your artwork. If you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to seeing the portraits, and I look forward to seeing which style of portrait you chose to try to create. So have fun. Good luck.